Welcome to the Pirls Stock Market Commentary video, your weekly window on stock market technical conditions, featuring the proprietary bull-bear point and figure market breadth summary chart for April 28th, 2019. Market breadth. With this past week's market advance, our bull-bear point and figure ratio at 1.24 was unchanged from last week. The total count of securities in bullish or bearish patterns decreased 1% to 3,073. The count of bearish stocks decreased 1%, while the count of stocks in bullish patterns decreased 1%. The Pirls P&F market breadth summary chart shows us a market now 16 weeks in bullish territory. The well-known market breadth indicator, the Nasdaq McClellan Summation Index, fell 39 points for the sixth decline in 8 weeks. At a positive 385.43 points, it continues below the January 2018 top, the June 2018 top, the February 2019 top, and the October 2017 top, and it continues above the remaining 3 tops above plus 100 in the last 30 months, as well as continuing above all 5 bottoms below minus 100 in the last 30 months. Volume analysis. In this week's volume analysis, the Nasdaq Composite Index ended in neither accumulation nor distribution mode, with average daily volume lower than the prior week. In the last 2 weeks, the Nasdaq had 3 accumulation days and 1 distribution day. Accumulation days are counted when the index closes up on higher volume than the prior market day, while distribution days occur when the index closes down on volume higher than the prior market day. Last week, the Nasdaq ended in neither accumulation nor distribution mode on higher average daily volume. Momentum. The CCI 20 daily, in a Woody's uptrend, is now at a positive 136.70, up from 75.14 last week. After last week's successful trade simulation, we wait for the CCI 20 daily to return to the plus or minus 50 range for another entry signal. In Woody's CCI trading system, 6 consecutive bars above or below 0 are required for a change of trend. The weekly CCI 20 of the Nasdaq Composite Index began a Woody's uptrend 6 weeks ago, while the daily CCI 20 began a Woody's uptrend 14 weeks ago. The CCI 20 weekly, in a Woody's uptrend at a positive 123.43, fell slightly from a positive 123.60 last week. With 12 weeks above 0, it continues in a Woody's uptrend and continues outside the plus or minus 50 range required for a valid zero-line reject long entry signal. Industry rotation the last 2 weeks. All of the top 5 industries are positive, and all of the bottom 5 are negative. Summary: some tech, brokers, and retail on the top. Some tech, oil services, and gold and silver on the bottom. Bullish: semis continues in the top 5. Computer hardware and REITs have left the bottom 5. Oil services has re-entered the bottom 5. Bearish: disk drives has entered the bottom 5. Focus this week. From www.aier.org, Central Banking is Central Planning, by Richard M. Ebeling. The following are a few excerpts from this simple but profound article. At a time when the appeal of and demands for a new democratic socialism seem to have caught the imagination of many among the young, and are reflected in the promises of a good number of political candidates running for high office, There is one already existing socialist institution in America with few opponents: the Federal Reserve System. The fact is, central banking is a form of central planning. The Federal Reserve has a legal monopoly over the monetary system of the United States. It plans the quantity of money in circulation and its availability for lending purposes, and it sets a target for the annual rate of price inflation, currently around 2%, while also intentionally influencing interest rates, affecting investment spending, and supporting full employment. Almost all discussions and debates concerning the Federal Reserve revolve around how it should undertake its monetary central planning, which policy tools should be used, and what target goals should be aimed for, as well as who should be in charge of directing America's central bank. Just as it is said that central banking needs to be independent so the objective and scientific monetary experts can guide the economy based on the latest and correct macroeconomic models, it was insisted under Soviet and all other socialisms in practice that it was all objective and scientific, being based on Marxian dialectical materialism, given what that meant in any particular situation. It's all a politics and ideology of planning. Few say they know what is right for the many, and will use government to give it to them. Instead, by viewing and using interest rates as a policy tool to be manipulated, the Federal Reserve's monetary central planners only succeed in distorting and preventing interest rates from telling the truth. How much savings is in the economy to sustain and maintain a structure of gross and net investments with varying time horizons? Just as Soviet central planners may have believed that they could coordinate it all for better and more successful outcomes than market economies, our central bankers never fail in their enthusiasm and arrogant confidence that this time they will get it right, that they now have the right macroeconomic model of how it all works. They, finally, have bigger and better statistical data and computer capacity to successfully read and measure the entrails of the economic goose. The long history of central banking, and especially over the last 100 years of paper monies and out-of-control government deficit spending, partly funded by monetization of the debt, has more than clearly demonstrated that the epoch of modern central banking needs to come to an end, and in its place we need the opening and freeing of financial markets to private competitive free banking, with markets, meaning all of us, deciding what we want to use as money. Thank you for watching this week's Santu Pirls Stock Market Commentary video featuring the proprietary bull-bear point and figure market breadth summary chart compiled by Donald Pearl, dlpearl@earthlink.net. For Santu Pirls Stock Market Commentary, I'm Cynthia Pearl, hoping that you have been enjoying a peaceful and pleasant weekend, that you are looking forward to a prosperous and productive week coming up, and wishing you true success.